MAGA, we do know what a woman is, okay? I'll go right to the root of your argument, which is always, what does the birth certificate say? Okay, this is so easy to disassemble. Birth certificate, what does it say? Does it say male or female? Are those the options? Or does it say girl or boy? Which one? It says male or female, right? Because a birth certificate is recording external sex organs present outside of the body, right? It's saying, does this child present with a penis or a vagina? Which one? Which one does it have? And then they record, oh, okay, so it has a penis, it's male, has a vagina, it's female, okay? That is all that is being assigned at birth. You cannot assign gender at birth. I'm going to explain why in a second, okay? I know, the left is crazy, but at least if you hear our reasoning, you might be able to better understand that it's not a lack of understanding. In fact, it's increased understanding. Again, it is recording external sex organs at birth. That's it. There's no way for a doctor to make an assessment about what the chromosomes are of this baby, what the hormone levels are, what the internal gonads of this baby are. They have no idea. They're just looking at a newborn baby and making a clinical assessment. This has female or male external sexual organs. Sex, those are the observable physical traits at birth, usually male or female. Biological sex is the full set of traits that make someone male or female. Again, chromosomes, hormones, internal reproductive organs, external genitalia, and gene expression. This is multidimensional and sometimes non-binary. I'm going to explain why. Hold on. Put your pitchforks down. Now, gender is how someone experiences, understands, and expresses themselves in the world, which is why gender cannot be assigned at birth. It's personal, it's social, how we socially interact in the world. It can't be observed at birth. Much in the same way that sex, your sexual organs, can't be observed as we're just all out walking around. So we use gender when we're out in the world to decide, oh, is that person a man or woman? So when the left says, what is a woman? We're talking about their gender, not just their biological sex or their external sexual organs assigned at birth. Okay, so here are some facts to really help you understand how this exists on a continuum, okay? I know your eyes are probably glazing over, but just try to stay with me, all right? You can still hate this when we're done, but at least I want you to understand, okay? Gonads, that's not just for men. That is either your ovaries or your testes, and they produce, obviously, sperm or eggs. Then you have your external genitalia, right? Penis, clitoris, vulva, vagina. Those are sex organs. They don't directly produce life. They are a tool for sexual function. Basically help plug people in, moving genetic material between people. I know this is going to blow your mind. Did y'all know that a penis is actually just like an elongated clitoris, and then conversely, a clitoris is just like a tiny little penis? No, I'm not kidding. They develop from the same exact tissue in the womb, because everybody starts with bipotential sexual tissue, and that clitoris can become either ovaries or testes and the beginning of internal reproductive organs. Again, remember, reproductive organs, that's what's happening inside the body, right? So ovaries or testes, as opposed to your sex organs on the outside of your body, your penis or your vagina. Okay. So the default pathway is that everybody would become a woman, right? Except if your internal gonads become testes, those testes produce testosterone, and that genitalia on the outside forms a penis instead of a vagina. Well, a penis and a scrotum. But again, that's just one piece of the puzzle, because chromosomes, hormones, gonads, don't worry, I have examples. Hold on. I'm trying to help you see how this all works together. So for women, we have XX chromosomes, and for men, XY chromosomes, okay? But you can have people who have an XY chromosome, but they have testes present inside. Their internal sex organs are testes, right? But it doesn't respond to the male hormones that the testes produce. So biologically, externally, they develop a vagina, right? So they present to the world as a female. But biologically, if you test their blood, they're going to present male. You can also have somebody who has XX chromosomes, right? Who has internal ovaries, so far female, but they have excess androgens, and as a result, they develop masculine genitalia, a penis. So they are assigned male at birth because they have a penis, but their internal wiring, so to speak, is female, which is why you frequently hear people say things like they feel trapped in the wrong body. And why I bothered to go through all of this is because I genuinely hope that a lot of what you're feeling is just because you don't understand this, okay? Again, gender, because we don't all walk around without pants on, so we can't see, oh, does that person have a penis? Does that person have a vagina, right? And even if they did, even if we could see that, it would only paint part of the picture, okay? So because we don't walk around in the world that way, we connect based on gender. But you have to remember that external genitalia, again, look at the examples I just gave you, only tells a part of the story. You can have someone who develops male genitalia, right, a penis, who has female hormones, female testes, so ovaries. Yes, this happens. Biologically and in an experiential way, they are female, but they were assigned male at birth. Their interplay of hormones when they were being created caused them to have male sex organs outside of the body, even though everything else is female. So when people say, oh, the left doesn't know what a woman is, it's actually backwards. We know what a woman is. It's an adult identity because woman is the adult version of girl. And remember, girl, boy is gender. That's not assigned at birth. And because we recognize that lived experience, right? So someone may be born into this one body, but then as they get older, they recognize something doesn't feel right. I know I'm supposed to be a boy. I was dressed a boy. I was raised a boy. I was given boy toys, but everything inside of me feels female. Right? Understand that sex is very multi-dimensional in that way. That again, your external sex organs are just one part of the puzzle. It's not that boys want to live as girls. It's that sometimes their lived experience and their biology simply doesn't match the external sex they were assigned at birth, which is why respecting gender identity matters. Now, you can still hate it, but at least you now understand it.